Hello, hello. This is Marco Xink from the channel Xink Ensina, and we're going to talk about present perfect continuous and present perfect in this video. And this is very useful because present perfect continuous talks about something that happened in the past or is happening and that you are emphasizing the time elapsed. And present perfect has many different applications, and we are going to see some of them here. Look at this first part. We use the present perfect continuous to express the idea of an activity, a task, piece of work in progress until recently or until the time of speaking. So, have you been working in the garden all day? You look exhausted. So, maybe the person has finished. Maybe it's still working, and you ask the person at that time. She's been writing the book since she was in her 20s, and at last it's finished. It's finished. Uh, uh, she has been writing. The book's finished, is finished, but you see, you are emphasizing that it was in progress until recently. Good, like here. Note that we often use time expressions. All day, recently, oh, in her 20s. You see? So, time expressions to say how long the activity has been in progress. This is interesting. This is kind of important in present perfect continuous. We don't look or we don't use the present perfect continuous with verbs such as belong, know, like or dislike, and understand that describe unchanging states. So, if you want to learn more about state verbs and action verbs, there will be up here a card talking about that. All right, let me see the time. Okay, I'll leave it here for you to watch later. Look at these examples. Have you known each other long? Do you know each other for a long time? That's the idea. Not have you been knowing. No, it's a state verb. Or you know the person or you don't know the person. There isn't knowing something. I haven't liked ice cream since I ate too much and was sick. Not I haven't been liking. No, or you like or you don't like. After some time, you started not to like. And then I haven't liked ice cream since then. Okay? And there isn't something that I am liking or not. If you use that, you use that in only very informal English conversation. When we talk about situations, general characteristics, or circumstances that exist until the present, we can often use either the present perfect or present perfect continuous. We've been looking forward to this holiday for ages. You are emphasizing that you wait for that for a long time. Or we've looked forward to this holiday for ages. It's okay, not grammatically incorrect. Okay? And this is it. Very nice. Let's move on. So, this is a use for that. These are some uses for that. We often use the present perfect or the present perfect continuous to talk about something that has recently finished if we can still see its results. Are there results to the present? So you can use present perfect or perfect continuous. However, we generally use present perfect continuous with verbs that suggest extended or repeated activity. All right, so for example, he's broken his finger and is in a lot of pain, not he's been breaking. It's not repetitive, right? It's I've been playing squash and need a shower. I've been playing, well, more likely than I've played squash and I need a shower. That's an interesting game, right? Do you play squash? What games do you play? Why don't you write in the comments? So I've been playing squash gives an idea of a longer time. And because of this, you use the continuous tense instead of breaking a finger. You see, we use the present perfect continuous rather than the present perfect when we draw a conclusion from what we can see or hear. We often use this form to complain or criticize. Who's been messing around with my papers? Who's been messing around? They're all over the place. You've been eating chocolate, haven't you? There's some on your shirt. Aha. So you see, you were talking about a conclusion that you are making based on evidence. Who's been messing around? You've been eating chocolate. This is an interesting use, right? Because it gives the idea that you notice that something has been happening for some time. When we talk about the result of circumstances or an activity, we use the present perfect rather than the present perfect continuous. When we focus on the process, we often use either the present perfect or present perfect continuous. Result, present perfect. Process, you talk, you use present perfect or present perfect continuous. Look at these examples. Prices have decreased by 7%. It's a result, right? So you don't say presents have been decreasing by 7%. You're talking about the result. But you can say prices have been decreasing recently. Now you're talking about the process, the time, emphasizing that something has been happening. You're not talking about the prices, the lower prices, but the event of falling prices, the process. But you can also say prices have decreased recently. I've used 3 tins of paint on the kitchen walls. That's the result. Not I've been using 3 tins of paint on the kitchen walls. And I've been using a new kind of paint on the kitchen walls because now you're talking about the process. You're talking about the use of it. Oh, something new, a new process. But you can also say, I've used, because then you would, I would see the result here if I saw that. The present perfect continuous emphasizes that an activity is ongoing and repeated, while the present perfect suggests the activity uh, happened only once or on a specified number of occasions. Miguel has been kicking a football against the wall all day. Oh, that emphasizes an ongoing process, more likely than has kicked. He has played for the national team in 65 matches so far. Aha! Uh, if you say the time, maybe would use present perfect continuous. But if you count the number of experiences, probably you use present perfect. Right? Look at these two examples. The workers have been calling for the chairman's resignation. Oh, imagine, they aren't happy, are they? Emphasizes a number of times, probably over an extended period. And workers have called for management to begin negotiations on pay, maybe a number of times or only once. But here, in the first example, you were emphasizing that it's a number, big number, or a time period. All right? So, with this point, with these ideas here, let's go and see the exercises here in the next page. Let's see here. What do we have to do in the first exercise? We have to complete each pair of sentences using the same verb. This is helpful because if we don't know by looking at one verb, we go and see the other one. Based on one sentence, we can figure out looking at the second one. Let me give a refresh here. Let's start all over because I was testing the font here. So, complete the pair of sentences using one verb, use the present perfect in one sentence and the present perfect continuous in the other. So it helps us a lot to see the different uses of both tenses. Use negative forms where appropriate. Look at the first one about Martina Gonzalez. What do we have here about her? Martina Gonzalez in a rented flat since returning to Buenos Aires. Disappear, give, put, read, stay, stop, swim. It's staying, right? So Martina Gonzalez has been staying since returning to Buenos Aires. Has been staying or has stayed. Has been staying is better. Has been staying in a rented flat. How can I move this? I don't know. I have to come here and do this. All right, it's not the end of the world. But then if I do this, yes, I can write again. We stay. We have stayed at this hotel a couple of times before. Now you're counting experiences, right? We have stayed. Here you can't use have been staying. Oh, why not? Well, I wouldn't use a couple of times before. It isn't a big number. So you are counting a very large number of experience over a long period of time. All day, the police motorists to question them about the accident. So imagine, it has been happening for a long time, so they have been stopping people for a long time. The police have been stopping motorists to question them about the accident. Why the police have and not has? Well, as a group, you can use have, right? If you think about the corporation, the police has been stopping. All right, but no, have been stopping is better. So because of that, there's a good result. Good, the noise has stopped. I can start concentrating on my work again. Has stopped. Any of Dickens' novels. If you don't know, Charles Dickens was a writer, was a novelist. I've read, no, the first one that I read from him was Great Expectations. Maybe I didn't have great expectations about the book, but it was a wonderful story. By the way, there's a film with Gwyneth Paltrow and Robert De Niro. Interesting, interesting. But here, the idea is negative because you have any. So I haven't read any of Dickens' novels. So if you haven't read Dickens' novels, can you easily understand astrophysics? I haven't read any of Dickens' novels. I have been reading, or I have read, is also possible, but I have been reading this book on astrophysics for hours. So you're emphasizing the time and how hard it is, you see, by using present perfect continuous. I have been reading. Of course, you can use I've instead of I have. From for hours, and I'm still only on page 6. Wow, for hours. So it's probably something very hard to understand. More, you have here Dr. Fletcher. Dr. Fletcher, the same lecture to students for the last 10 years. Could you? I don't imagine myself giving this lesson over and over and over again for 10 years. Because of this, we record and I suggest to students over and over and over again to watch the same video. Easier for me, first time for the student, good for them, good for you, I hope, and good for me. Dr. Fletcher has been or has given. I don't know. I would say has been given. Has been giving. Has given. Has give. Give. Has given is also okay. All right. But I would say has been given because then by doing that, I stress the time. I emphasize that. Wow, it's 10 years, right? Mr. Sato, nearly £1 million to the charity this year. That's very nice of him. So Mr. Sato has given. We don't know how many events, but it's a collection of experiences, and this year hasn't finished. Because of this, it's present perfect. Okay, so Mr. Sato has given. I did 20 lengths of the pool today. Wow, you must be tired. I that far since I was at school. Okay, I haven't swam. I haven't swum that far since I was at school. So it was a long time ago, but it wasn't a repetitive thing. All right, so uh, you use present perfect because you pointed a starting point and then you are doing something. There's a reflect here. Now you are very tired. Look, B, I I have been swimming and I feel exhausted. I have been swimming. Have been swimming and I feel exhausted. Look at 6. In recent years, companies increasing resources into internet marketing. Have they put resources, right? The South African coal company has put or have put, because it's a company, it's a group of people, the Culverton mine up for sale. So let's go for them. Here, sorry, let's go again. And here. In recent years, companies have been putting increasing resources into internet marketing because it works. Do you advertise on the internet? Do you think I should advertise this video and then people will discover the channel and this playlist and will learn more English? I hope these videos help people learn more English. The South African Coke Company have put or has put. As the police, I will use have put the Culverton mine up for sale. We can use has here, okay? It's only one company. An important file from my office. Oh, so we only have one verb here that is disappear, but I hope it reappears. An important file has disappeared. There's a reflect on the present. There is a result has disappeared. Disappeared from my office. Plants and vegetables from my garden, since we've had new neighbors. New neighbors are robbing, are stealing the plants and vegetables. Not some fruit, for example, some oranges, some apples. No, they're robbing, they're stealing the plants. That's not nice, is it? So, have been disappearing. Have disappeared is also okay. But look, it seems that it's something repetitive and negative. Have been disappearing from my garden since we had new neighbors. That's definitely not nice. Let's move on and see these other exercises. We have these two people. We have Dr. Petra Adams. She is the director of the center of an influenza research center. And we have Sahir Khan, the opposition spokesperson for science. So he works against the government. This government, he tries to show how things could be different. Well, what's the point here? Here are two views on the government's announcement that it is to cut the money it gives to the Influenza Research Center. It's a hypothesis, okay? It's not true. It's just an exercise of English. If necessary, correct the present perfect continuous verbs using either the present perfect or past simple. So please, let's do it. Let's do it. Dr. Petra Adams, the director of the center. Let's see if she speaks clearly, if she says she uses, well, present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay? Let's see. It's remarkable to think that since 1950, influenza has been claiming more than 50,000 lives in this country. Has been claiming or has claimed? Has claimed. All right. Let me see if. Oops, just something here from. Yes, from Photoshop. So has claimed. Claimed, all right? claimed. I won't correct these, okay, but yes, claimed more than 50,000 lives in this country. And in 1957 alone, around 6,000 people have been dying or died. Died, right? It's a finished time in the past. So it's died. I hope you can read because I didn't bring my pen today. But over the last 20 years, we at the center have been making considerable progress on understanding the illness. This is correct, okay? Because over the last 20 years, reaching the present, have been making considerable progress. Number four, we have been producing over 100 books and articles. We have produced, okay? We are talking about the result, not the process. We have produced over 100 books and articles reporting the results of our research. And in 2012, they have been awarding the Nobel Prize. Look, it's a finished time in the past. So they awarded the Nobel Prize. Our research, the books awarded the Nobel Prize for Medicine to one of my colleagues. That's very nice. That's very nice. In our more recent work, we have been looking into the effects of influenza on heart disease. We have been looking is correct because it's a recent research and it affects the present. And we have also been exploring a possible link, also true because it's about the same research and it affects the present, between climate change and the recent increase in the number of cases of influenza. It is a tragedy that the government has been making this decision now. Oh, she doesn't work for the government, she works for the center, right? It's a tragedy that the government has been making or has made, or have made, okay? I will keep has because it's okay, but it could be have because there are many people in the government has made this decision. She isn't the minister of health minister. No, she works in the center, and she's frustrated that there's been this cut. And then there's another one. He works for the opposition. Sorry, but speaking is very nice, but we get thirsty. Well. Let's go and continue here. Just a second. We have 10 sentences. The previous government has been investing huge amounts of money into the center. The previous government has finished, right? So you can't say have been investing because they aren't investing anymore. The previous government invested, okay? Invested huge amounts of money into the center, and I think it's terrible that the present government has been announcing this cut. Has announced. because it isn't over a long period of time. It was an announcement that affects the present. Has announced, where's the pointer? Announced is cut when the number of cases of influenza has been increasing. This is correct because the number has been increasing until now. Something about recent time, and it's repetitive. The center has been running successfully for many years. Has been running successfully or has ran run successfully uh, for many years. But this decision is just typical of this government. Hey, look, it's a fictitious situation, and I'm not supporting this or that side of a fictitious government. We are reading here his position, but we are all in favor of good health services, right? So, it has been neglecting health research ever since it was elected. Five, it is also correct because it's something repetitive and it emphasizes that it's the whole time affecting the present. And it has been cutting back on spending on science generally. Has been cutting back? Oh, yes, because there are many cuts and it's happening until now. Although the government says that the cut is necessary because of the recent world economic problems, I have found evidence that they, for some time, they have, I have found, oh, there's an N, sorry for this terrible writing, found evidence that they have been planning this for some time. Is this correct? What do you think? Have been planning. Yes, because they were having meetings about that, and there's a result in the present. I to the minister about this yesterday. It's a definite time in the past, past simple. I spoke, right? Where is the point? Where is it? Here. I spoke. Sorry for this letter E. So I spoke to the minister about this yesterday and have also been writing to the prime minister. I have also written or I wrote. I have also written, not been writing, not many letters, only one, right? I have also written. T E N or to the prime minister. Don't forget, there is the two here. Or, and I also, or sorry, and I wrote to the prime minister because you finished sending the letter, it's something in the past, but have written because I wrote and there's a result in the present that he can read the letter. Okay? Demanding that the decision should be reversed. So, this is it about present perfect and present perfect continuous, Unit 6 of this wonderful book, Advanced Grammar in Use. I hope you have the book and you can review that on the paper. Otherwise, you can uh, look at this video again and read it. You can pause and do the activities. I really hope you advance your English, you progress by watching videos like this. See, I hope you can also watch other videos from this this list of videos, and that you please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if possible, comment how easy or hard it is for you to use the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. See you in a future video. Bye bye.